about 4 million into a police precinct that does not affirm black lives, versus housing, versus cultural mental health programs, the things, the infrastructures that actually affirm and provide a quality of life to black folks here. That is where we need to be moving forward. We don't need no reforms, y'all. So with that, I want to highlight why we are actually here too. What inspired this moment? Somebody said George Floyd.
George Floyd!
George Floyd!
George Floyd!
George Floyd was murdered, publicly lynched in front of us, millions across the world. And 2 days later, not even 2 days, a day later, we tore this city up. We tore it up. And the site where it all originated is currently under threat by the same city folks who are trying to relocate the precinct. They're trying to close down George Floyd Square. Somebody said, that ain't right.
That ain't right!
That ain't right.
That ain't right!
So I want to bring our 38th in Chicago George Floyd Square warriors who are holding that down and showing the city and the business community that we are not to be messed with.
Yeah!
This is our moment. We are not continuing with status quo, with the status quo. So with that, I want to hand it over to Marcia Smith. Marcia Howard, Lord, I'm struggling, y'all. Thank you. I want to hand the mic over so she can talk about the amazing work they're doing down there.
George Floyd.
George Floyd!
George Floyd.
George Floyd!
George Floyd.
George Floyd!
Now I'm going to need you to say something else. It's something we've been chanting since we've been in negotiations with the city of Minneapolis, the county of Hennepin, the state of Minnesota, and the United States of America. No justice!
No street!
No justice!
No street!
No justice!
No street!
No justice. No justice, no street. I'm Marcia Howard. Somebody asked me, hey, how did a 47-year-old mild-mannered school teacher wind up on a barricade? Why here? Why now?
Woo! Get it!
Because I have no choice. I have no choice. I am sitting on a barricade for the safety of my community and our pursuit towards justice. And I am unwilling to exchange one for the other.
Yeah!
They killed that man. They killed that man 260 steps from my front door. A child I teach filmed that man's death. Her mama called me. So when they ask me why we in that square, I have no choice. No justice, no street. And they say, how did a mild-mannered school teacher wind up being part of this diverse, badass community that has been holding down that square for over 110 days? There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Because this is what community looks like. Y'all want to show me what community looks like? This is what community looks like. And when we talk about community, I need y'all to know something. Yes, I am a teacher. And yeah, I'm a retired Marine. But I go into my community every day armed with hand sanitizer and my relationships with my people. That's it. And so, just so you know, for the beginning of the revolution, we had no EMTs, so we had a medical tent. All right? We didn't have firefighter, we first didn't have mail, and we definitely don't have police.
Yeah!
Still don't have police. Oh, we got firefighters. Ain't nobody ever said fuck firefighters. But we still say fuck
the
12!
Fuck 12!
How did a mild-mannered 47-year-old teacher get radical when she saw the National Guard coming up my street past my students' houses with the MPD, with rubber bullets, with tear gas, with flashbangs, as Black Hawk helicopters went over her house. So for 100 days, we have redefined what community safety looks like. And you know what we found? Community brings safety.
Yeah.
We process car accidents, interpersonal conflict, missing items. Something goes missing, we figure it out. Somebody does something, we talk to them. Y'all might have heard of something that occurred that actually is involving the Stuart Longfellow Restorative Justice Program. Someone came into our neighborhood and defaced something important to us. Notice we didn't beat him down. We didn't kneel on his neck. We talked to him because that's what we do in our community. We talk. Community safety, community policing, community apprehension is going to look markedly different after this because we are redefining it every single day. Every day, we are redefining what it looks like. And what it looks like is holding space with people, talking to people, processing with people, looking them in the eye. What it doesn't look like is ostracizing, beating them down, degrading them, throwing them in a cell and leaving them to rot in an industrialized prison complex. That's what it doesn't look like.
Yeah.
Not in GFS, not on 38th and Chicago Avenue South. That's not what it looks like. You will see and hear a lot of rhetoric about GFS, George Floyd Square, coming forward. And it'll make your head spin because depending on the political temperature, the powers that be change what they say to suit their needs. Let's be clear. We are behind a barricade, but the police have already shown us that they can drive right around it. We have tacitly, I'm gonna let you in on something, kind of been, playing footsie with the city because they know that 38th in Chicago is now a national historic landmark. And they think we just keeping it in safekeeping. Nuh-uh.
No.
I'm not on that barricade to be a docent at a museum. I told them and I mean it. Over my dead body. No justice,
No street.
No justice, no street. So in meetings with city council, with the mayor, they kept asking, what does justice look like? So we came up with Justice Resolution 001, a list of 24 demands specific to the Four Corners neighborhood. Four Corners, Powderhorn, Central, Bancroft, and Bryant. Y'all know that corner, 38th in Chicago. I done taught half the dudes in the alley. So when I go down the street, they say, hey, Miss Howard. I say, hey. They didn't count on that when they killed George Floyd. That they had Miss Howard, who is 36 steps from her front door to that barricade.
Yeah.
And I can walk on the street, I can go down the block, I can walk into businesses, and we can go into the alley because we are forging community every day in every way that we can. And what we stand in solidarity on is that not only does community bring safety, but guess what will bring safety for everybody? Justice. If we thought we had justice, we wouldn't be burning shit down.
Yeah.
Justice brings safety. So when we said, give us a little bit of justice, you'll get a little bit of street. We meant that. We said that with our whole chest. No justice, no street. Then they had the audacity, the temerity, the unmitigated gall to tell us when they were going to open up the street. And what did the community say?
No.
Nope.
Hell no.
And then you heard the rhetoric about how we are in collaboration and co-curating this national historic landmark. And I said, don't talk to me about memorializing justice when we ain't got it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
A memorial? A commemorative plaque? The man ain't got justice. Our neighborhood has yet to receive justice. Hold on. Hold on. Not yet. Give us a little bit of justice, you'll get a little bit of street. And just so you know, those 24 demands are just for 38. They're going to have to work a lot harder to get Chicago.
Yeah.
No justice.
No street.
No justice.
No street.
Now, I told you about the rhetoric in the last few weeks where it's been, oh, we're talking to community. But when they realize we saying that with our whole chest, the rhetoric has changed in the last 48 hours. I've been hearing words like lawlessness. The streets are, quote unquote, held hostage. Anybody been there on a typical Saturday morning, a Wednesday afternoon, a Tuesday night? So, oh, the rhetoric has changed. But when you put out in this American culture, in this man's America, that we are lawless, that we are holding the street hostage, that we are, and this was said, terrorists, not by city council, but by somebody who's reporting on it. Oh, in 24 hours, the word in the square today was, wow, you're really deputizing the wrong type of folks right now with that kind of rhetoric. I don't know what they're playing at. But when we said we are not moving until we receive justice, we mean that. We mean that.
Yeah.
I jokingly said they picked the wrong time and the wrong place. I was a teacher on summer vacation. I'm a teacher on summer vacation. I ain't got no place to go but to stay at that barricade. But if anybody's in this crowd that I have taught, you already know I'm not there this year. First time since 1997 that I have not started a school year with my students. I have no choice. And perhaps they'll realize that this too is teaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am committed to the work that we are doing at George Floyd Square, otherwise known as 38th in Chicago, otherwise known as the Minneapolis Autonomous Protest Zone, because we are showing our community, we are showing this city, we are showing the state and the world what community protection looks like. We speak into it and we practice it every day. Don't believe me? Just watch. Just watch. I have been in that neighborhood for 22 years, and I've only called the police twice. And you want to know when? The first time is when the community protectors tagged and bagged somebody who had white supremacist symbols on his leg and was throwing rocks at a store. When he turned around and threw a rock at a mourner, at a pilgrim, at a person visiting the site, that's when we said, come on. Because we are people over property each and every day.
Yeah.
We apprehended him and walked him out of the square. And then we did something, because at the time, and again, this was 3 months ago, we thought we were in the eye of a storm of a still fully functioning police department. And we said, we got video of this man throwing rocks at this person. Please come and get your boy. They didn't come. And that was the beginning of what we call Operation How You Like Them Apples. Y'all don't like us, then. Right? So we sat there for 30, 40, 50 minutes. Then I said, let me walk further away. And I used my most code-switched Minnesota damsel in distress voice to talk about this man who was committing violence in our community. They showed up, they saw us, they drove away. And that's when I knew. Can't count on them, can't count on them. And that's when I smiled. Can't count on them, can't count on them. Who can we count on? Us, each other. That's who we can count on. Our community and building community is what will bring a new way of living in this city to pass. You will not be able to count on anybody in this building or any building that they choose unless we figure out a way to reshape what we believe apprehension is, community service, social service, mental health service. That's what we have to do. That is what we do at 38th and Chicago. We ain't got no police, y'all. And it's been 110 days. We all right. So I want you to look and I want you to listen and I want you to critically think about the rhetoric that's going to come out. Maybe based on what I'm saying right now. Maybe based on the future negotiations that we're going to be making with the city about answering the resolutions and those demands. I can tell you what, when I was in negotiation, our mayor went to number 24, and number 24 states, close the intersection of 38th and Chicago until the trial of the 4 officers who killed George Floyd.
Yeah.
He went straight through 1, 2, 23, went to 24. He says, no, that's non-negotiable. Keeping the intersection closed is non-negotiable. Well, you got 23 left. They closed. It's closed. You're not getting your street back until we get the other ones met.
Yeah.
No justice.
No street.
No justice.
No street.
No justice.
No street.
No justice. Thank you.